She picked him up from the gutters, gave him love, respect, and children. But instead of loyalty, he paid her back with betrayal.
In the bustling streets of Lagos, where the sun beats down on the red earth and the air hums with the rhythm of Yoruba drums, there lived a man named Adebayo. He was born in the gutters of Ajegunle, a place where dreams drowned in the floods of poverty. But fate, or perhaps the gods of the Yoruba people, had other plans. Adebayo rose from those muddy depths not by his own hands alone, but lifted by the unwavering love of a woman who saw in him what the world could not. She picked him up from the gutters, gave him love, respect, and children. But instead of loyalty, he paid her back with betrayal. Aduni was a daughter of wealth, born into a prominent Yoruba family in Ikoyi, where the mansion stood tall like ancient Iroko trees. Her father, Chief Olusegun, was a respected elder, a man whose word carried the weight of proverbs passed down through generations. Her mother, a graceful woman adorned in asho-oke fabrics, instilled in her the values of the Yoruba, which was family first, loyalty unbreakable, and love as deep as the Ogun River. Aduni could have married any suitor from the elite circles, doctors, lawyers, sons of chiefs, but her heart chose Adebayo. They met at a bustling market in Oshodi, where Adebayo hawked second-hand clothes under the scorching sun. He was sharp-witted, with a smile that could charm any true-loving woman. Aduni, shopping for fabrics for her family's Owambe celebration, was drawn to his spirit. A man who rises from nothing is a king in disguise, she thought, echoing the Yoruba saying, "Initi obaji lojo kutukutu ni olorun funlongje," meaning, "He who wakes early, God provides for him." But her family would never approve of a man from the slums. So Aduni wove a web of gentle lies, not out of deceit, but out of love. She told her parents that Adebayo was educated at the University of Lagos, working in a big firm as a manager. "He's from a good lineage," she insisted, her eyes shining with conviction. Chief Olusegun, after much deliberation and consultation with the family elders, gave his blessing. They married in a grand ceremony, with gele head ties gleaming and juju music filling the air. Aduni's dowry included a plot of land and seed money for Adebayo to start a business importing goods from China. Under Aduni's guidance, Adebayo flourished. She taught him the ways of business, introduced him to her father's connections, and stood by him through the early struggles. Their home in Lekki became a symbol of their triumph, a spacious compound with a garden where hibiscus bloomed and the aroma of pounded yam and degusi soup wafted from the kitchen. Aduni bore him 3 strong sons: Tunde, the eldest, wise beyond his years; Kola, playful and full of energy; and Femi, the youngest, with his father's charming smile. Now she was pregnant with their 4th child, a son, as the scans confirmed. Aduni glowed with youth and beauty, her skin like polished ebony, her figure graceful even in pregnancy. At 32, she was the epitome of Yoruba elegance, often turning heads at family gatherings. Adebayo owed everything to her: the tailored agbada he wore, the Mercedes he drove, the respect he commanded in social circles. But as the Yoruba proverb warns, "Ti obirinba gun ori okore, oman wo enu." When a wife elevates her husband, he begins to look elsewhere. Adebayo's eyes wandered. In the shadows of his success, he sought thrills outside their secret union. He met Falake at a nightclub in Victoria Island, where the beats of Afrobeats pulsed like a heartbeat. Falake was a young hairdresser from Ibadan, drawn to Lagos by dreams of a better life. She was naive, her heart open like a fresh bloom, but foolish in her trust. Adebayo spun a web of lies to ensnare her. "My wife, Aduni, she's far older than me," he whispered one night, his voice laced with false sorrow. "She's reached menopause, can't bear more children. She's given me 4 girls, but I need a son to carry my name. Our marriage is just a formality now." Every word was a dagger of deceit. In truth, Aduni was vibrant, fertile, and had blessed him with 3 sons already, with a 4th on the way. But Folake, enchanted by his charisma promises, believed him. Their affair ignited like dry grass in Harmattan. Adebayo rented a cozy apartment for her in Surulere, furnishing it with plush sofas, a flat-screen TV, and a kitchen stocked with every gadget. He even bought her the latest iPhone, the one she dreamed of, its screen gleaming like a portal to a fairy tale. "You're my queen," he told her, as they tangled in sheets that smelled of new beginnings. Folake, in her blindness, never insisted he meet her parents or perform the traditional introduction. No engagement, no wine-carrying ceremony, none of the Yoruba rites that bind souls. Her siblings in Ibadan knew nothing. She kept the secret close, fearing their judgment. Soon she was pregnant, her belly swelling with what she thought was their future. Adebayo kept this hidden from Aduni, terrified of the consequences. They were legally married under Nigerian law, and bigamy could land him in jail. Worse, Aduni's wealth meant she could sue him into oblivion, stripping him of everything he'd gained. "If she finds out," he thought, "I'll be back in the gutters." One fateful afternoon, while Adebayo was out on business, Aduni picked up his phone to check a message for him. What she found shattered her world. Chats filled with sweet nothings, photos of Folake's growing belly, and plans for their secret family. Her heart pounded like a talking drum, but she didn't confront him. Instead, drawing on the quiet strength of Yoruba women like her ancestors, she reached out to Folake anonymously. "I know about you and Adebayo. Let's meet at Chicken Eatery in Ikeja. Come alone if you want the truth." Folake, curiosity gnawing at her like hunger, agreed, but caution won out. She brought a male cousin, Lanre, for protection. They arrived at the eatery, the air thick with the scent of fried chicken and jollof rice. Folake scanned the room, her hand on her belly, until her eyes locked on Aduni. There she sat, poised and radiant, her pregnancy evident, her beauty undeniable, high cheekbones, full lips, and eyes that sparkled with intelligence. Not old, not barren, but a vision of youth and grace. Folake's world crumbled. You're his wife?" she stammered, collapsing into a chair. Aduni nodded calmly, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "Yes. And these lies he told you. I'm not old. I'm 32, pregnant with our 4th son. We've had 3 boys already, Tunde, Kola, and Femi. No girls. He's deceived us both." Tears streamed down Folake's face, hot and unrelenting. He said you couldn't give me a son, that you were done. I believed him. Oh God, what have I done?" She sobbed, her body shaking, as Lanre looked on in stunned silence. "I'm so sorry," Folake whispered. "I didn't know. I was foolish, thinking this was love." Aduni's eyes softened with a mix of pity and resolve. "The fault is his, not yours entirely, but be wise now. Protect yourself and your child." They parted with Folake in pieces, vowing to think on what came next. Word spread like wildfire in the digital age. Adebayo soon learned both women knew the truth. Folake had confided in Lanre, who confronted him via call. Panic gripped Adebayo like a vice. He paced their Lekki home, sweat beading on his forehead, imagining the jail cell, the disgrace before Chief Olusegun, the fall back to poverty. He messaged Folake. "I'll find ways to care for our child. Send money, whatever you need, but we can't be together. Aduni, she's powerful. I'm scared of what she'll do. Please, understand." Aduni, meanwhile, carried on with quiet dignity. She attended prenatal checkups, prepared the nursery, and smiled for her sons. but inside her heart ached like a wound from a cutlass. She decided to wait. After the birth, when her strength returned, she would deal with Adebayo. Divorce? Confrontation? The courts? Time would tell. For now, she drew on the Yoruba wisdom. Bioma bar anje eko, ama anwo enure. When a child eats pap, we watch his mouth. She would watch, plan, and act. Adebayo walked on thin ice, his every step cautious. Dinners were tense, his compliments forced, as Aduni's knowing gaze pierced him. The once unbreakable bond was fractured, a cautionary tale of ingratitude and deceit in the heart of man.
And now, dear viewers, I turn to you. What should happen next? What should Folake do now that she has discovered the truth and carries a child for a man who deceived her? What should the Adebayo do, caught between his lies, his betrayal, and his fears? And what advice would you give the Aduni, a woman who gave everything but received betrayal in return? Should she forgive him? Should she walk away? Should she let justice take its course? Life is full of choices, and every choice carries a consequence. This story is a lesson to us all. Gratitude is the bedrock of love. Betrayal is a poison that destroys even the strongest home. A man who forgets the woman who lifted him from nothing has forgotten his own soul. Dear viewers, think deeply. Share your thoughts in the comments. What should happen next in this story of love, lies, and betrayal? Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more exciting and dramatic stories. Tell us in the comments where in the world you're watching from. Until next time, stay blessed and keep watching Ugo's True Tales, where every story leaves a mark.